Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3Stacks in this thing, and as promised, I am showcasing you guys an update to my Monarchs. The last profile that I did on them, it was pretty. It got a lot of love. It's pretty popular. I think more or less a lot of people were looking for a build on Monarchs, and there's a lot of fans out there for Monarchs. I myself am a Monarch fan. So as promised, I got all the cards that I was missing, but I started playing the deck a completely different way. I'm playing a lot of the cards that I needed, but what I'm gonna show you guys is a new way to play Monarchs. I checked to see if anybody was doing it, and because like whenever I feel like I'm onto something, whenever I think I have some crazy new idea, I want to confirm if anybody had did it before, because I don't want to get the misconceptions of, oh, you're just copying that guy, or oh, you got that idea from somebody else. I didn't get this idea from anybody. In fact, if you guys know anything about my channel, everything is what? Original. I get it from nowhere except from the brain that God gave me. All right, so this new way of playing Monarchs is gonna allow you to help. It's gonna help your going second game. It's gonna allow you to make better boards. It's gonna give you more fodder. It's gonna give you more resources. It's gonna allow you to get out on a gate, which is pretty. It's pretty impressive that Monarchs can now get out in the gate, because they don't really have negates. They have disruption. They can floodgate. That's pretty much it. So I'm gonna just stop rambling, and I'm gonna show you guys the new way to play Monarchs, baby. Let's get it. All right. So starting off with Erebus. Erebus is basically your best turn one play outside of Aether, but bro, Aether's at 1. She's a GOAT now. But Erebus is pretty strong. The ripping one card from the hand is really important, giving you the information that you need to know what deck you're up against. So now you know where to proceed from that point. That's point A. You don't want to go to point B until you know exactly what you need to do on the way to point B. And Erebus gives you that. He's kind of like a tour guide, right? Not literally. He's a guide to where you need to go. So once you know what deck you're playing, once you've shuffled their card from their hand to their deck, you can just proceed however you want to do it. He also gives you information on hand traps at times, because if they have a Veiler or an Impermanence, they will use it on him. Some people go Sorghum, you just never know. But also sometimes you can actually hit certain cards, which is really good. So he snipes stuff. Really awesome card. He has Grave Recovery. Overall, Erebus, because of Aether being to 1, Erebus is the best Monarchs now. He really is the best Monarch. He's the GOAT. He's not the GOAT. Aether's the GOAT. And then we have Aether. She may be at 1, but you can actually recycle her, and you can still search her out. The only issue with her being at 1 is you open up with her a lot less frequently, right? But once you get your engine going and you're able to search her off of Return of the Monarchs, it's just as if Aether was still at 3, because you can add her from grave to hand with Erebus and continue to summon her as often as you want and get a lot of card economy just off that one card. And, being able to add on the in phase to your hand guarantees you have another big monster that you can summon. You can OTK pretty easily, especially with the way that I'm playing Monarchs now. OTKing is just easier now than ever. Then when you play one Caius, the Mega Monarch, Caius is just retarded. He really is. Like, this card is insane. I like him a lot. Like, he's more than just a 1-for-1. He's good spot removal. Hitting 2 cards, the banish, the burn. It's just really, really good. Banishing cards is just so fun. I don't have Thessalos, but I definitely would be playing Thessalos. Coolcuz has Thessalos right now in his deck. But yeah, I'm gonna get Thessalos from him. That's probably literally the one card that I'm not playing that I want to play. But I couldn't really get a Thessalos. I was trying to get the cards online, and the Thessaloses were out of stock. I buy on Troll and Told. So yeah, it kind of sucks. But Thessalos would be here as well, because I think Erebus and Thessalo turn 1 are really strong, and you can actually resolve both their effects, and you can tribute summon twice. It just depends on how your hand is. Like, if you have 1-for-1, you can easily do Erebus and then Thessalos, because you could just tribute your Erebus and go into Thessalos after you've summoned him off of your extra tribute off of Idols, because you get your normal for turn and then that, and then you get to rip 2 cards out of your opponent's hand, which I find impressive. So yeah, and you can just search the Thessalos off of return. Really, really good. But now we're moving forward to the proactive aspect of the deck. We have the Fiends. Yeah, I don't really want to maximize on either one of them. I felt that 2 of each was perfect. The deck does have quite a bit of draw power. It has a lot of deck thinning capabilities. So I felt that 2 of each of the Fiends was fine. I do have 3 Vanity's Fiends. I got the structure deck for the Lair of Darkness, so I can play 3 if I wanted to. But I just find that 2 is working out better for me. Majesty's Fiend is a good replacement for Monarchs Erupt, simply because it stops all monster effects in general, including hand traps, and it stops graveyard effects. It stops Thunder Dragons from resolving a banish zone, and also your opponent can't Twin Twister it. So, you know, that's just a plus. When you can get domain plus this, that's really, really powerful. Even if they twin twisted domain, there's no guarantee that they're still going to be able to play if they can't use any monster effects. So Majesty's Fiend is really powerful. If you ever want to turn the Floodgate off yourself, just tribute him for the tribute summon of another monster. It's that simple. And then we play the one Karaz. Karaz makes the magic happen. I would play two, but I still like it just at one. You know, like there's a lot of ratios that I would want to change, but through strenuous playtesting, this has been the most successful list for me. You know, I wanted to bring you guys a deck list that I have a lot of experience playing with, you know, versus just like something that I just wanted to pick up and test, which I've done a few times. But this list I'm more comfortable with than a lot of my other ones because this has seen more success. So yeah, that's all of your tribute summonable monsters, your monarchs basically. So I'm gonna keep these guys here, but this is the engine that I didn't want to mention in the title. I'm probably gonna mention in the title, but I didn't want to mention in the beginning of the deck profile. I wanted to surprise you guys. I'm playing the Mythical Beast engine, guys. So this does, like I was saying, it gives you a better resource game. It helps you out going second. It allows you to put out a negate because this is a monster that you can tribute summon for. You play a ton of spells. You can set up a monster negate. So you can do your double tribute summon for turn. And you can do, for example, Vanity's Fiend and then Jackal King. And then you can play your domain and you've got no extra deck. You know, no special summoning in general. And then you've got Jackal King. So if you want to, you could just trade out the domain for March of the Monarchs. And then your guys can't be destroyed by card effects or targeted. Just really strong. But the other thing that it really helps is you could just use Jackal King to summon service from your extra deck. Even under domain, if you read domain, it says, while you have no cards in your extra deck, your opponent and control a tribute summon monster, your opponent cannot summon from their extra deck. It never said that you can't. And basically, how it works is you just play your service, you search your Jackal, activate Jackal, and then, you know, special service from your extra deck, tribute him for a tribute summon, and then play your domain after that. That's all you do. You just play domain after it, after the fact, instead of trying to play domain and then do the Mythical Beast combo. Do the Mythical Beast combo first and then do domain after that. And any time that you would feel that you're locked out from, you know, because domain only works while you have cards in your extra deck, so you have to get the service out of your extra deck. Anytime you feel like you can't resolve the Jackal for service, just use service, search Jackal, and tribute summon to drop the Jackal on the field, because Jackal King is still a pretty powerful monster by itself. But yes, this engine really helps the deck a lot. Getting the extra bodies on field before you normal summon is really important because you have to tribute summon, right? And that's most of the time your normal summon, unless you have an idea for Idol's play, which is one of the best plays of the deck, but you only have 3 ideas in your deck. So, you know, you got to find a way to circumvent for a lot of the weaknesses of the deck. And something I found through strenuous playtesting and personal experience is I did not open Idea a lot as I wanted to. And even when I opened with Idols, just having just a plain old simple Idols, sometimes I couldn't go into the bigger guys unless I had domain to reveal them and make them basically a level 6. So sometimes I needed a way to get 2 monsters on field in order to drop these bigger guys. But don't get me wrong, Idols plus a Fiend is fine, but if you want a bigger, better play, you know, you need to get more tribute fodder. And they also just increase your odds and chances of drawing into those extender cards like that so that you can get your plays started faster. It just makes the game a lot easier. It just makes it easier to play Monarchs by playing the Mythical Beast engine. And going second, you just get out your service, banish a monster, OTK. It's really strong. Just having that spot removal, it's really, really powerful. So yeah, those are all your big guys. Now, we're going to go ahead and go on to the smaller guys, which are going to be triple Idea, you know, and also triple Idols. The best vassals, but I still always play a Tech Mithra. Every time like I do my Monarchs, I always keep Mithra. Whenever I'm taking cards out, I never take out my Mithra. I like Mithra a lot. I really do. It's like people don't really get it until you like play the deck for a while, but I hate when I run out of targets for my Idea. I really do. And whenever you banish Idols to summon Idea from graveyard, Idea's effect can trigger to summon another vassal from deck. But the thing is, you run out of Idols as fast. So having that fourth target, that fourth copy to go into is really important sometimes when you can go Idea, Idols, banish Idea, special Idea, summon Mithra, and then you tribute those for your tribute summon, then you still get an extra tribute. So this can be a supplement for your Idols, and it can almost be the equivalent, which is a very similar effect. So it's like playing 4 Idols, long story short. All right, and it summons itself to the field for free. So like the Mythical Beast, it's another way to get your fodder, which is important. This is a tribute summon deck, but if you don't have monsters to tribute, you can't tribute summon. It's plain and simple, right? So now for our spells. We play triple copies of Domain. Basically, Twin Twister or Die. You know, the card's just amazing. You know, it has another application where it helps you to get your bigger guys, your level 8s on the field with 1 tribute, which is really good for extending because now when you have 2 playmakers, you can tribute 1 apiece as long as you have like an Eidos or a Mithra to give you that extra tribute summon. You know, you can just put a lot of big monsters on the field. OTK, really simple. Domain is a win condition of the deck, as well as Majesty's Fiend and Vanity's Fiend. Another way for you to have a win condition is just to floodgate your opponent if you want to play Monarchs Erupt. But because I play Majesty's Fiend, I felt that it was very, very counterintuitive to play both Erupt and Fiend when they both do the same thing basically, but one does a better job because it can't be twin twisted, and also it stops monster effects everywhere versus only the field. And also Erupt in the Draco matchup does nothing, but Majesty's Fiend in the Draco matchup can still stop even the tribute summon monsters. So I think it makes sense. My reasoning and my logic. Then we play triple tenacity. You know, it just gives you 3 extra targets of all of your monarch spells and or traps that you want in your deck. And then we have triple return. It's really important to open with return because Aether's at 1. You know, you want to search your Majesty's Fiend so you can get Majesty's Fiend on the field as quickly as possible. You want to search Thessalos if you're playing it so you can do that little 2-card hand loop combo. Just 2 cards. It's not that impressive, but 2 cards less to deal with is, you know, really good when you can get them with that Domain. So one of those 2 cards, if they're twin twisters, you know, they're just not going to be able to out the Domain. And if they do, then they're going to be taking a -2, and they're going to have 2 cards left in their hand because you snipe 2, and then they pitch 1 for twins. So, you know, it's really good. And that's why I feel like return is important because it sets up better combos. Turn 1, it gives you options. With Monarchs, everything is searchable outside of the big guys. So without a card like Return, you can't really see these guys consistently without randomly drawing them for turn, you know? And that's like a gamble. So I like this card at 3, hands down. And you can just reveal it off of your Domain, off of your Pantheism, and your opponent has to pick this because if you reveal 3, that's the only choice. And then one of my techs, so these copies of Shared Ride were going to be Allure of Darkness. I found 3 slots that I could dedicate to more draw power. Now, while it might seem unprecedented, Pot of Desires is not really good in this deck. It's not. I'm sorry. A card like Pantheism, it's really important to have multiple copies of a lot of different cards. There's 1-ofs in this deck that you can't afford to banish, and it really sucks if you resolve one idea and then banish everything else after that, so your idea and idols have no value. So marginal and minimal card advantage, you know, economy after resolving 1+1 is not always great. So I found that Pot of Desires wasn't great, and Allure of Darkness was not a plus, it's a break even. I wanted a spell that can not only allow me to plus, but also that can be flexible. This is a very versatile card. It can stop your opponent, or it can give you a lot of advantage, which is more than a +1 a lot of the times. So I like it. It's very reactive. The deck already has a proactive aspect to it just because it has continuous effects that stop you from doing A, B, C, or D. And you can always set it, and while it may seem like a bluff trap, it can be used as a trap. So triple Shared Ride to help to combat the metagame. Then we have double Foolish Burial Goods because you have a lot of engine cards that need to be in the grave. And, you know, that's going to get us started with the 1-ofs because the best card to send off your Foolish Burial Goods is going to be Pantheism of the Monarchs. Card's amazing. Even though it's only at 1, it's still broken. And you can always add it from your Banish Zone to your hand off of your idea. It's just a really great card. You Foolish Burial Goods it, and Foolish Burial Goods becomes another Tenacity. So you have like 5 Tenacities, 6 Tenacities. Your extra copies of Idea are Rhoda and 1-for-1. This gives you 5 ways to get into your Idea. I really prefer opening 1-for-1 because it's very sacky. And you're able to get 2 Tribute Summons just by opening with 1-for-1. If you have 1-for-1 Return and an Erebus, you can do that 2-card hand loop that I was talking about because you 1-for-1. Summon Idea, bring out Eidos, activate Return, you know, tribute both of those, go into your Erebus. Erebus is going to extend your plays by dumping Pantheism and Prime. You can build your chain links accordingly, and then you're going to search out your Thessalos. Then you can tribute Thessalos by tribute summon him just by tributing that 1 Erebus because Erebus is a tributed monster. And you can rip 2 cards from your opponent's hand, get your advantage from Prime, get your advantage from Pantheism. Really cool combo. I would showcase it, but I've already explained the combo and the sequence. Then the rest of the 1-ofs are 1 Restoration. Card's not that great. I don't know what the hype is about it, but it's really not that good. It's just a reborn for the Monarch statistic kind of monsters who have the 24 and 1K. But that's all it really does. And the treated as 2 tributes is cool. It's cute, but it's like you can search it. It's really not good to open turn 1. It's not even that good a lot of the time because it's like whenever you have it, you already have a board full of monsters. It's cool as a recovery. That's why I still play it. But I just don't see it as a great card. It's just kind of like, okay, it's nice to have, but I don't need it. And then we have the one Stormforth. Stormforth is insane in this deck. You can out a lot of boards with it, and it's searchable removal that doesn't target or destroy. Then we have the March, speaking of, so that your cards cannot be targeted or destroyed, which is really important for your Vanity's Fiend, so that they don't hit you with like an impermanence. Impermanence targets if they don't hit you with a Dark Hole or Raigeki. And if they evenly match, just keep the Vanities. They probably still can't play after that. And then the only traps I play are 2 Prime and 1 Escalation. I had to cut down on certain ratios, and I felt that these cards were easy to cut because they're searchable and recyclable. And as far as Prime, I feel like the ratio should be 2 or 3. Don't get me wrong, I love 3 of the card because I Foolish Barrel Goods this a lot, and I dump it off of Erebus, but you can actually get away with 2 easily because you can just dump 1 and have it as an extender in grave. It's a really good extender, a really good chunk blocker, but also having the second one just to have the ability to Daigoso Emerald your cards, keep your resources on par, keep you in the game, and allow you to continue to recycle and activate the same one-ofs like Stormforth, search it out, recycle it, search it out again. You know, it's really, really strong, and it just keeps you from decking out because this deck has a lot of deck thinning capabilities. You know, you're able to get up to like 13 cards out of your deck turn 1 just off of a basic play. So yeah, you guys, that concludes the deck profile. It is the Domain Monarchs, so obviously I play no extra deck. Side deck can vary depending on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to take it to locals, to YCS, you know, to regionals? You want to play it for nationals, that kind of thing. And if you guys are ever curious on how to side deck, I have an entire series on my channel that got a lot of love called How to Side Deck Like a Boss. Check out the video How to Side Deck Like a Boss, or just look up you Team Kings of Games and look up How to Side Deck. I have very, very good theories behind it. A lot of them are proven facts, and it's very, very, like, as you can say, scientific knowledge. And it's just all through my experience as a Yu-Gi-Oh player for, you know, 10 years. Like, I've been playing for, I think, longer than that. I think I've been playing since like 2003, 2002. But I got serious 10 years ago. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. You guys have a beautiful day. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And remember, this is the best way to play Monarchs. I promise you, you cannot go wrong. And if you want to add some hand traps, feel free to do that. It's totally up to your personal preference. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.